without further ado, I would like to introduce you to one of my close friends, aka one of my best friends, Andrew Evans, the man behind the magic. You know what I'm saying? The man behind all the drip, Andrew. My brother's here. You feel me? What's going on, twin?
Thanks for having me, man.
You already know.
Thanks for having me.
It's mandatory that we gotta talk. It's very important for the whole environment. You know what I'm saying? And the whole trajectory of the game. You dig?
I dig that, man.
So
I'm so proud of you, man. You said you were gonna do it, and you did it. Now we here, man.
Yeah, now we here. Now we're gonna show the world what we about. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Can't
sir.
keep the underdog in the background for too long. You feel me?
You already know.
So like,
Not that we're underdogs, but
Right.
some people might think they're ahead of us, but we let them have that.
yeah, we let them have that. But hey, well, now that we here, right? You know, we've been friends for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And like, a lot of people don't know, man. They try to act like they know, but they have no idea what it takes to get here. You know what I'm saying? And what it takes to have a big, beautiful, luxurious warehouse that you have right here. You know what I'm saying? So let's take it way back, man. I want to go back to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know, HFLA. You know what I'm saying? Before the big, all the trips and the lifestyle stuff. Let's go back to the beginning, like how you started this, man. Like tell us, give us the inside, man, because not many people want to be able to get this.
Oh, man. It's a long story to be told, man, but I'll say you said a little bit before the brand, before Homme Femme. Before Homme Femme, I'll start you off this time, 2011. So 2 years before I started the brand, around August 2011, I was 23 years old. I was trying to get a mansion ready in Palos Verdes that a woman that I had done some marketing stuff for wasn't able to live in anymore because she got sick. Mm-hmm. So me and my brother and a few of my friends, we created this dope spot. It was kind of like the real world, mixed with a little bit of frat house, mixed with a little bit of BET College Hill, mixed with a lot of house party. And it was just this dope mansion in Palos Verdes, man, that was inhabitable, man. The pool was green, there was weeds growing everywhere, carpet was dirty, but it was a mansion. And one of the things I would say that got me to this point, just to kind of, you know, just jump a little bit ahead, was my ability to see things and see the value in stuff that other people might not have necessarily seen value in.
Right.
So, you know, I seen a frame, you know, and I seen a home, and other people just seen an eyesore. So, you know, my brother had been doing parties since high school, 05, 06. Mm-hmm. And I kind of jumped on that wave, man. Like I was always, you know a lot of kids. I always knew, you know, the right people. But my brother took it to the next level, throwing events and throwing parties. So maybe around 2010, I jumped into the party game and started doing parties in Hollywood and stuff like that. And then going back to 2011, right. I had the streets.
Had the streets, you know,
we
smashed.
We had all the kids. We had all the streets.
Just on a party level, or
on a party level, man. On LA Hype, on Club Anonymous, Club Kiss, just all that stuff my brother was doing. Mm-hmm. Then I started doing the Hollywood clubs like the Colony, Cabana Club, Empire nightclub in Hollywood. Summer 2011, man, we took it to the next level. We had the house. We scrubbed that house down for a month straight, man. We got the pool clean. I shouldn't say this, he's gone now, but he knows my grandpa's Amex was a part of that without him even knowing.
Yeah, we were rest in peace, grandpa, man, for real.
You met my grandpa a few times. Yeah,
super solid, super OG, super player.
When he would take that nap, I would take that Amex down to Home Depot and buy little pool rocks and figuring out how we can get the pool
to get the color back,
generator cleaned, oxidized and get it cleaned and getting a new generator for the pool and the jacuzzi, man. And we found a gardener, and one of my boys I went to high school with was a plumber, and he fixed the gas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And we was scrubbing them floors, man. And this time last year, I would say, we had our launch event for the house. Everybody was there. I know we was talking about Hassan a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He would bring Hassan would bring all of those pin-up models to the house. And all the guys wanted to be there for the girls, man. And we had the jacuzzi rocking 24/7. We always had some tequila, some Hennessy at that time. Like, man, that was that, man. And we got the streets going. And then 2012 summer, my boy Bailey, who worked for Taz Arnold, who was like Kanye West stylist, you know,
like
Taz.
Tisa,
they have the hats with the Tisa on the side.
He's fire.
He was styling Big Sean, Chris Brown, Kanye, everybody that was hot. He was the guy. They did a South Park episode on them with the gay fish episode.
Yeah, I remember
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like it was crazy, man. Yeah,
He's still tight about that. I know you.
yeah. So we did a party for BT Awards weekend, and that's how I got into fashion. Like me and my brother were making like little merch for our LA Hype and the Billionaire Cartel and stuff, but it was hoodies with our little party logo on it. And I had always had little ideas, you know, growing up. Like we always wanted to make Jordans
Yeah,
and
and create your own thing.
Yeah,
Custom
you know.
shoes was like the beginning of that.
Yeah,
Like,
Nike ID, and you know we was drawing stuff out in elementary, little football players and stuff. So I feel like I always had the creative point of view. My big cousins had all the Rockaware and the Inichi and all that Fat Farm, Sean John stuff, Fubu.
used to be
Like
heavy.
my grandma wouldn't buy it; she couldn't afford it, but I always wanted it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, so I did the party with Taz and Bailey. We had ASAP Rocky, DJ Drama at Supper Club, BT 2012, and then after that, they was like, "Yo, this was dope. Let's do something else." So I did a Labor Day event with them. I did a Halloween party with him, and that's where we brought your boy Trinidad James out. Uh, his song had not even really blown up yet. We seen it on
Oh, you
World
talking
Star.
about all go everything?
We seen All Go Everything on World Star Hip Hop at my boy Bailey's house, and was like, "This is dope. We got to bring this guy out here." And
Right.
nobody really knew who he was, and brought him out here. He did our party. We was ahead on that. We always ahead on stuff.
Survey says we've been ahead.
Always ahead. We always ahead, man. Like people will tell you, man. We was buying Dunks, 2019.
Way back in the day
they
before
didn't even-
anybody thought it was cool.
They didn't even see it. I said, "Yo, Flash, something is going on here. Why is Travis Scott and Ian Connor and all these kids wearing Dunks, but nobody wanted it?"
Right.
Like, right? So, you know, Flash and his boy behind the scenes, Matt, you know, shoe gods already, but we always been ahead, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Years of being ahead, man. They try to pretend to act like we ain't the ones, but they know they try to catch on. They do it like 6 years later, talking about we the ones, we started this. You see?
Yeah.
Nah, you didn't start that.
Yeah, so I started doing events, man. And the events parlayed into me working with a fashion company, and then me just being around Taz and Bailey and in their warehouse, which was respectfully much smaller than this. Since they told me I couldn't do clothes, I thought I'd get that off my chest. Much smaller than this, but I learned a lot, man. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, you know? So just being around them, seeing how they ran the business, I thought I had some ideas on what I could do. And then I just started getting more creative, and I started doodling little stuff. And then one day I went to my boy, who was my partner at the time, David, and I said, "Yo, we got to do some stuff." And once again, like, they told me I couldn't do clothes. So I made some little beanies, and it was like the 2013 beanies. Started making little t-shirts and stuff, and I showed it to them, and they said, "That's cool, but you a promoter, you don't do clothes."
Oh, they was trying to put you in. They was trying to box you in and try to
Yeah.
not let you even flourish in any way.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think no one could have. I couldn't even have envisioned it turning into this. Like,
Right.
I mean, of course, I wanted to be like Sean John or Rockaware, but you know, there was no path here. Like, there was no. It wasn't like I sat down and said, "In 10 years, I'm going to be
That you was gonna be doing it
the
like
biggest black-owned brand in the world."
Right.
You know, one of the most recognizable streetwear brands in the world. Like, I couldn't have said that.
this. Right. Who was you looking up to at the time? Like as far as designer and stuff. Like who was you looking up to when you was making your stuff?
As a kid, or just like in the present
Just
when I
like
started the brand?
as you were starting, who you was looking up to, like in order to like to try to
I mean-
eventually go at them. You know, it's a competitive sport. Like
Yeah, I mean, people don't like when you say it's a competitive sport, but being competitive doesn't necessarily mean that you gotta want bad for the next man.
Yeah.
I said this yesterday. Or it might have been today or yesterday. I told my brother, man. I said, look, it was yesterday. I told my boy John Andrews. I said, look, I want you to win. I want to win, right? I want the best for you.
right.
But when Michael Jordan got on the court with Barkley,
Nah,
he didn't want Barkley to
you
win
want
nothing.
smoke with everybody.
Yeah.
Like this is a sport. Like,
Yeah, Barkley was getting his millions. He was getting his endorsements, but Jordan didn't want him to be the best.
Right.
When they was going one-on-one, he wanted to be the best. And that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I first started, man, when I really started getting into high fashion because of Taz and because of it was really Bailey, man. Like, Bailey was the kid in the streets that was doing all of Taz's legwork. He had the youth. He brought the stuff to him. That's why I keep young kids around me today, because I understand they know it's dope. And I don't think I would be where I'm at without the help of my team and people. I was once that young kid. Now I'm early mid 30s, and I got to keep a 21-year-old around me too to let me know who Yeet is.
Right. Who
You know what I'm
Yeet is
saying?
for a fact. Yeah.
I wouldn't know who Yeet is without him. Like, so, yeah, I was looking up to Rick Owens, man. I found out that Rick Owens went to LA Trade Tech, which is like a trade school
Well, I
down
didn't know
here.
that. I
So
didn't know
like,
that he went to LA Trey.
yeah, it's not even a junior college. You know, you got the 4-year universities, you got the junior colleges, and you got the trade schools. You know, a lot of people get a lot of money out of trade tech, but it's kind of looked down upon out here. You know, it's kind of like you got to go to trade school so you can get you a trade, so you can be some type of carpenter or plumber or something. But Rick Owens went to the fashion school, or Rick Owens is one of the goats of fashion.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't know that.
he created his own universe.
Yeah, I met his wife. I met his wife at the Kanye thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I told her that one of my friends met her at the Kanye thing, and I met her out in London on the Eurostar going from Paris to London, and then we seen her at the Soho House in London, and then I was outside of the Rick Owens show in Paris, and she seen me and got me in.
Whoa, she just walked you right
She's
in.
like, babe, come in, come in. I walked in with 3 of my friends.
Yeah, super solid.
Yeah, so she's a super
Full
solid.
circle.
Yeah, it's a full circle moment, man. Like, I just feel like we got that energy.
Right.
You know, I feel like the universe wants to give us abundance, man. And whenever we get together, you already know
It's automatic.
Yeah.
Everything. We walk through doors. It's real Casper lifestyle when we be moving around.
Yeah,
Like
you
in
already
real
know,
life.
bro.
And so now they know kind of how it started. You gave them like inside stuff. So we gonna go straight to the funk where niggas know they know what happened, bro.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about Chanel, man. Like when that happened, like the tea was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. This is way before I even knew you.
Yeah, I met
But
you in
I saw it.
2016.
Yeah, I saw it though. I definitely seen it because I was in New York with Ryan Leslie running around, and come to find out you was doing Ryan Leslie stuff that I was wearing when I was traveling with him, and that was
Yeah.
before I even met you. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the Chanel like crazy controversy.
So-
'cause that was wild.
I was working with Tisa, working with Taz, running the streets with my boy Bailey, and I had all these ideas, man. And I was seeing Michael Jackson, I was seeing the Madonna, Michael Jackson vibes. I always been inspired by the emergence of culture, bro. Like I always wanted to figure out. Drake said something that really caught me. He said something about making good figures and getting the hipsters to merge in with the hood dudes.
Right.
Right? So like for me, like my brother was throwing parties. He had the kids in the inner city, right? For me, on top of my brother's platform, I was trying to figure out how we could get that other crowd to mix with his crowd. And we kind of had like a brotherly rivalry because I thought my parties was a little bit more diverse than his.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was always trying to figure out a way to like get stuff done. Like so I said, yo, like I seen this trend coming, man. When I was with Bailey, we used to have little kickbacks at his house every night pretty much. And I would see these cool New York kids or, kids that was up on fashion pulling up.
The trendy vibe.
Exactly. So I seen Ian Connor before when he had 9,000 followers. Before he proclaimed himself the king of the youth. You know what I'm saying? I seen him at Bailey House, and one of his like young dudes that was running with him was a kid named Tracy. And Tracy had on the freaking off-white, not even off-white, Pyrex. He had the flannel shirt that said Pyrex 23 on the back.
And
I
you
said-
talking about the original
And I
virtual
said,
vibe.
and they had like the stones on it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that shit is hard. And I seen it, and I seen what they were doing. And like you said, by that time I had started to understand where fashion was going.
Right.
And I seen what Virgil was doing, just, mixing the streets with the high-end aesthetic. I'm like, man, I could do that too, man. That's
Right.
me. That's me. So I seen the Pyrex stuff, man. I seen the Rick Owens stuff. I was running around with 40-ounce van at the time, through Tisa, of course. He was hot, bro. Like
40 was doing parties, right?
40 was a party promoter. That's something
Okay,
that
yeah.
we have in common. That's something 40 and my little brother Twan actually have a really great relationship now. He met Twan through me, but they have a really good relationship now because 40 is a street kid from the Bronx.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he like was doing events. Like, so that's the background that he had. And I think a lot of people in this game, even Jerry Lorenzo,
Right.
was a party promoter. Fear God.
It's crazy. I
That's-
think it's the way
yeah.
that they get the people. Like when you have the people already
Yeah.
following you, just give them something they
Exactly.
want.
Because everybody want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Like everyone out there, man, it's I feel like it's 2 ways you can get people's attention. One, you got the shoes and the drip. Like, you're the shoe guy, right? That's how you connect and you network with a lot of people as your friend. I can tell you that. Second is parties. People want to be able to get into the club. They want to be able to get
access.
They want access. Third is through the girls.
Right.
You got the girls, you getting in the party.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the drip, you getting in the party. Like, but the main thing is just to socialize and be a part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I started that and I seen that coming, bro. And I've always been ahead, man. I'm not gonna say like I'm the most futuristic person, but
Right.
I'm always ahead of the masses.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm ahead of the people that think they're the gatekeepers too.
Right. Now,
You know what I'm
because it's just a
saying?
visionary, and just because you don't say it publicly, they think that you don't know, and you wasn't the one that said it first.
I don't even gotta say it, man. Look where we at.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
You can see it
this,
with your own eyes.
this is not respectfully. This is not Alabama. This is LA. This is not cheap real estate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it costs.
And
to
this
be
ain't
here.
even one part of the. This is just one small part of it.
Yeah.
We'll
So
get to that. We'll show y'all that later. But
I sat down with my boy David, man, and at Starbucks, and I said we need to make a hockey jersey, and we need to put these designers on it and stuff, names on it and stuff. So we collaborated, and we sat there at the Starbucks in Torrance off of Sepulveda and Figueroa. I want to say it was right there. It's right off the 110 freeway exit Sepulveda, right across from a Chase Bank. If you're from LA, from the South Bay, you know where that's at. So we sat there and we made some hockey jerseys. We made the Chanel inspired jersey. We made the Fendi inspired jersey. So the Chanel one had it was like a real hockey sweater. It had the stripes on it. Had that right there. It had the two C's on the front. On the back it said Coco number 5 with a Homme Femme tag. And we made the Fendi one. We made a Rolex one that never came out. We made like a Jesus one. And we went to the mall and we wanted to source. So, me and David, I got respect for David, but we're not necessarily like social anymore. I'm telling you this, I never said this on camera before, but I got the receipts. He feels like I stole Homme Femme from him. But the reality is, the truth is, if you put a gun to his head, he would admit it, that he gave up on Homme Femme. He didn't think it would go that far. He had someone that was a mentor to him, that was investing in him, that told him that I was a young buffoon and that I was unproven, that he wouldn't work with him no more if he sided with me.
right,
I think if he sided with me,
he'd be further in the fashion space if
he's
he
big
did.
in the fashion space,
Yeah.
but he's not. He's an artist. He's not necessarily like he doesn't see like business, right? Me, I think my gift that God gave me is I am very, very like talented at seeing the future, seeing an opportunity, and I'm really above average at taste. I'm not saying I have the greatest taste level, but like I said, I'm more tasteful than most people, and I think that I'm able to provide that to a segment of the population that people don't see as tasteful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't really look at the hip hop community, the inner city community, as having a lot of taste, but we do. We came up with pride. We came up with manners. And we do. We just might necessarily be able to buy into that lifestyle all the time consistently.
Correct.
But that's what we're providing them in consistency. So we made those jerseys, and just to distinguish the taste level, he wanted to put it on a Swap Meet Pro Club hoodie, and I'm like, sweatshirt, and I'm like, nah, this ain't
He's
it.
like, yeah, I want to go cut and sew with this.
I'm like, this not it. We gotta find a better hoodie. So I went down to American Apparel and found like a better hoodie, crew neck, to put it on. I opened up the American Apparel account. We made the sample at the mall. The moment we got that sweater off the presses at the Delamo Mall, we threw it on them in front of the little Chick-fil-A, took some photos. Everybody in the mall was just like, where'd you get that from?
Then it was up on it. Then they wanted to buy it from fresh off the press.
Day,
That's
everyone
crazy.
was
See what
looking,
I'm
bro.
saying?
It was heat. Like it was literally like
straight heat
off the presses. So I knew we had something. We did a photo shoot at the Beverly Hills Hotel. We just it's funny because I've been doing this for so long that, and I don't mean to overtalk you.
Nah, you good. I want to hear this. This is crazy. This is stuff I never knew, and I've been this man's friend for years.
I've been doing this for so long that I forgot that the first official Homme Femme photo shoot, unofficial because the Beverly Hills Hotel didn't say we could do it there, was at the Beverly Hills Hotel at the Polo Lounge. I was doing a couple dozen in the first month, and then Tiana Taylor's, one of her background dancers, seen it and said that he and Tiana wanted one. So we made them one and we sent them one, and she put it on Instagram and it blew up even more.
But it was already hot on the streets though. It was already blowing up in the streets
It
on its
was
own.
it was hot in the streets. Uh, Stores wanted it. A
Hmm.
few people wanted it. I'm not gonna even call him my little brother no more. One of my younger friends was in the clothing industry already, and he had a store in Hong Kong that he sold to, and the store in Hong Kong seen it, so they bought it. And then the store in Las Vegas called New bought it, and Tiana wore it, and then it went crazy online, and people started ordering it all over the world.
Sheesh, so you was already outside the country on your first tee,
My
like your first shirt like that.
We was global from the start,
That's crazy.
and we still are.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
Yeah,
that.
real life.
You know that. Yeah, we was literally global from the start. I just realized right now that our first photo shoot was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's why it makes sense that the energy for what we dropped is so good.
Yeah, especially
I'm
with the
saying?
Beverly Hills type vibes and like the colorways and stuff like that, and how that's kind of like embedded in your mind, like by showing that. Because I
Yeah.
seen that a lot. Like actually a couple things I seen you do that, like that
Yeah.
colorway.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy how things just really add up when you think about it.
But when they hit you, how did it feel? Like for the people listening and the people back at home watching, like how did it feel like when it hit you, like when the cease and desist came, like the litigations, like because that stuff like that, a lot of people are not built for that type of pressure when that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like they just hit you over your head, and then you don't know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? You could, like I don't know. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you're referring to us being sued by Chanel in federal court.
Yeah, that I'm
So
trying to get that shit. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm gonna tie it up for you, right? I'm gonna tie
yeah,
it back and tie it up for you. So remember I told you about that party house in Palos Verdes,
yeah.
61 Rockin' Horse Road. And matter of fact, I'm gonna have to J Cole did that Forest Hills Drive album.
Yeah, you
We
might have to go sit on a roof up there.
we might have to do a collection called 61 Rockin' Horse. Let me
Whew.
put that in my notes. One
Yeah,
second.
you definitely put that in your
I
notes,
put
'cause
everything
that's
in my
hard.
notes, man.
Yeah, that's crazy to bring it back. Like
Yeah.
that's tough.
Just so I don't forget. That's a lesson I learned before clothing, before parties.
Hmm.
I was doing like some little multi-level marketing, prepaid legal stuff. I used to go to the seminars that taught me a little bit of business structure. And one of the things my mentors always said was, just write your ideas down, man. Write them down, put them on paper. That was well before the iPhone notes.
Yeah, right before the
No.
iPhone notes, you had to put them on sticky notes. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Basically just tying back in the house in Palos Verdes to the start of the 10-year cycle, right? 2011 to 2022, 11 years now, lucky 11. So we had the Chanel sweaters. It was hot off the presses. Tiana Taylor put gas on it. The Instagram made it global. You know what I mean? And it was in Asia. It was here. It's the hottest shit out. At that, like I said, I seen Pyrex, right? And literally, bro, the hottest things in the streets was the Homme Femme Coco hockey sweater, the Pyrex 23, and Hood by Air.
so you was right there when Virgil was heating up. You was right there at the same
I
time.
didn't have no Kanye though. I had something bigger though. I had something bigger though. I had the streets.
You had the streets, but and you had overseas though. That's different.
We had the streets overseas too, because when I went to Hong Kong for the first time, kids that's just like us were the ones that were buying the brand. We got like a little code name out here in a warehouse, as you can see with the core team. We call them Pookie and Ray Ray, right? So there's two guys, because our demographic is 18 to 25 and then 25 to 40, right? So Pookie and Ray Ray is like the code names like for like the consumer, right? A guy. It's a guy. So you got an older guy that dresses young and a young dude that doesn't know what he's putting on.
Right.
And that guy's everywhere. That guy's in France. That guy's in Hong Kong. That guy's in Dubai. That guy's in Tokyo.
You talking about Ray Ray?
We're talking about both of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And since we span that generation of like us being like in our mid 30s, our older cousins being like 40, your older brother, and then the younger kids, like our little cousins and stuff like that, we span that. So, like I like to say, Homme Femme is so successful because it's a generational thing of culture, from hip hop to sports, pop culture, like it's everything. It's a diverse group of people that are all around the world. And like, yeah, so the hockey sweater went global. Like we had Khloe Kardashian, we had Diplo, Tiesto, Keisha Cole, of course Tiana Taylor. I love you so much, Tiana Taylor. Like Whenever Homme Femme sells for $1 billion, I got 50 mil for you. Not that you need it, but you know what I'm saying. Like kind of how Kanye, you know, like in
It
Benny
makes it smart.
Siegel.
You had to get back. You had to
Yeah,
get people that actually helped you start.
yeah. So yeah, man, it went global, man, and it was everywhere. They were knocking it off. Alibaba had it on there. AliExpress. It was the biggest thing ever. It was on Jimmy Kimmel. What really messed it up for us, we was low key, man, doing it out of my grandpa's garage in Compton. And when it was on Young Jeezy word on Jimmy Kimmel,
What?
2 Chainz had it on, Khloe Kardashian had it on, French
He performed.
Montana.
Jeezy performed in it when he was flaming hot
The
like
two
that.
biggest things that really got Chanel's attention had to be Wiz Khalifa wearing it. He was hot at that point. And damn, Young Jeezy word on Jimmy Kimmel Live
Yo, that's
on
crazy.
ABC. And boy, when I tell you that I came home one day a year later,
That might have been the straw that broke the camel's
it
back.
was.
They seen that and it was like,
It
oh
was.
nah, this man's not
Yeah,
getting
for
off
sure it
like
was.
this.
It was. My big brother exclusive game who just left, he had a variation of it too. Everybody was remixing it. So Chanel was like, finally figured out who I was. They sent a cease and desist letter to 61 Rockin' Horse Road. But I lived there in 2011, from August to November 2011. I was gone by then. This was 3.5 years later.
So you didn't even receive the letter.
I didn't. And being some dumb little kids, you know, we trashed the place when we left because the lady was like, yo, these kids took something and made it, took nothing and made it something. She decided she wanted to live there again. After we done put thousands of dollars into it and cleaned it up and stuff.
Refurbished the whole
Yeah.
house.
So she said, hey, man, I might as well live there too and be in that swimming pool with everybody else. Her nephew, who I went to high school with, and a kid named Devin, who is still around today doing like dope stuff in the industry, had introduced us. And I guess she decided, you know what? She seen the value in the house again.
Right.
So she wanted to live there. So us being young and dumb, we said, nah, that ain't cool. And like left poop in the pool and glass in the pool and stuff. Like, so she had an axe to grind.
Yeah.
So Chanel took the cease and desist there. They didn't know I was
Shit in
back
the
at my
pool,
ground.
though.
It was my little brother Banks. Free Banks, by the way. He's like, yeah. Before that, let me doo doo in the pool. And I like, and my better instincts told me not to do that. But being 23 and he was what 18, 19 at the time, like we just did it, man, and like that came back to bite me in the butt without me even knowing because Chanel sent that cease and desist letter there. On my behalf, she responded. You know,
She responded on your behalf?
she responded. They sent me a letter of a response that was supposed to be for me, but it wasn't, and it was very inflammatory. It was like "F you, Chanel," and you think this is a joke. I don't think she knew that. She probably thought it was a game or something, you know, or maybe
She probably didn't think that was real.
yeah, you know what I mean, or maybe she did and thought it was a way to get back at me.
Yeah.
So Chanel got them letters back from her, and they decided to sue me in federal court. So they found my real address by this time, and I'm out with my friends having lunch, and my little brother Twan calls me and says I got served by Chanel, and they're demanding $2 million.
What?
Yeah.
In that moment, what was you thinking? Like,
In that moment, that Chanel, when I seen it in my hands, I seen the Chanel and I seen the law firm and stuff like that. In that very moment, I said, my life is over.
He's like, yo, I'm about to die. I would have had a heart attack.
I said $2 million. Like, I think to that point, I had probably grossed 250 grand. I didn't have 250 grand, of course. Mm-hmm. I was enjoying the fact that I had money, good money for the first time in my life. Mm-hmm. Really enjoying it. Right. Doing what we do today, traveling and eating good and just being a young kid with a lot of money. And when I seen that, I told my friends, I said, my life is over. Nice knowing y'all.
Right, because you're like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to pay these dudes back this type of money. This is retarded. I'm just starting out.
I just thought about it, man. I said $2 million, best case scenario, 10 years. You know? Yeah. You don't really think about giving all your money to someone.
They just wanted you to recoup? Like, what were they trying to do? When they sue you, like, how does that even happen?
So I can't really say much about it as far as our deal. Just know I didn't pay them $2 million. Mm-hmm. You know, legally, I paid them 250 grand. Mm-hmm. But between you and I, it wasn't even that. Bro, I just basically, like, my cousin wasn't a lawyer at that point. You know, I wasn't going to go to anyone else in hindsight now and do that. I just kept it real with them. They asked me to cease and desist. I sent them my remaining inventory. I stopped making the sweaters, and over like 7 months, we just went back and forth with their lawyers via email and via phone. And I let them know, like, yo, I'm from Compton, man. I don't know who y'all think I am. Like, I'm not some big corporation that's doing this.
Right.
And all them people that are doing the sweatpants with the CC on it,
Like,
that say Homme Femme and
bootlegs, I'm not in charge of the
camouflage hoodie. People were making bootlegs of our stuff. And it wasn't a Chanel bootleg because Chanel never made a hockey sweater.
So there was bootleg and a bootleg.
There was
even a bootleg. Yours
we'll say they were bootlegging a bootleg, right? The CCs were Chanel's. We didn't own that. Everything else aesthetically was original Homme Femme.
Right.
People were bootlegging. It was the hottest thing. It was bigger than Pyrex. It was bigger than Hood by Air. It was everywhere. Like I said, we didn't have Kanye behind us. We didn't have New York's fashion scene behind us. I wasn't a trained designer like Shane Oliver at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have the Tumblr generation. I didn't have New York and all the blogs behind me. It was just me, my brother, and the internet.
Right. I'll tell you why they were mad, because they wish they made it. It got to the point where they seen something and they saw, I mean, when they seen Jeezy on Kimmel, they was like, we wish we made this, because this is crazy. This is like, they probably didn't believe it then because they didn't know what Virgil did now. The world we living in now?
Yeah, they didn't know that.
Oh my God, it was heading there.
And you know what? I'll say this. Chanel, if you're watching, it would be smart for y'all to do that. And it would be smart for y'all to give us that credit. Because eventually, you guys are the most sacred, high fashion brand. You don't do menswear. You know what I'm saying? I understand that they're the last ones to get cracked. But if you think you're making money now, wait till you start making menswear. Wait till you make that Coco hockey sweater on Chanel fabrics and Chanel factories. Wait to see how many of them Hampton soccer moms and rappers and everybody is going to want that. Right. Louis Vuitton, Bernard Arnault was smart enough to bring Virgil in there.
And that was tough to crack that too. That was a code to crack.
Between me and you know, I go to Paris every 6 months. Between me and you, I heard that Louis Vuitton sales was up 300% under Virgil. And I'll tie that back to the streets and the culture, to the emergence of Allen Iverson and Kurt Cobain and a little black kid from the outsides of Chicago seeing the hip hop and punk rock merge with sport and sexiness and all that.
Skateboarding and stuff that was
really
heavy.
Things that our generation, like, you know, what are we, 2 generations after civil rights? Like the 80s babies and 90s babies. Like seeing the emergence of the tanning of the culture of America, like Steve Strauss said, and then globalizing it. I just feel like Chanel, man, if y'all up 20 billion right now, y'all might be up 80 if y'all have some black jeans that says with the Chanel logo and a simple white tee that men could wear and the Coco hockey sweater. Like,
yeah, they know they need that Coco hockey
Supreme, Louis Vuitton Supreme then turned around and did the biggest collab of our era.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They sued them and then they come back in full circle. Now they did a collab. They just had to, because popular, it don't matter, man. If it's popular, they need to be a part of it, bro. Yeah. It's an addiction, bro. Like, they don't want to be left out no matter what level they in. You know what I'm saying? Even in fashion, I don't want to be left out.
You think Chanel will ever pull the Iron Curtain back and get into streetwear?
I feel like they would, man, because the world is changing, man. Look at the position everybody's in. Like, you wearing bro. You was just in Fashion Week. You saw the type of baggy. Everything's baggy, bro. How we back? How we Harlem shaking again? How we tall teaming?
Behind the scenes, you don't see him, Matt. You know you into the street culture. You into the high end stuff. What you think about that? You think Chanel will ever do something like that? Or are they just going to stay traditional for the rest of eternity?
And be the only ones.
I think they'll eventually evolve. I mean, they're like men's sneakers now, and they'll keep. That was like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So I think they'll slowly get into all that.
I think they're getting pushed. I think they're getting pushed into the corner right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. Even, you know, rest in peace Virgil, but
rest in peace Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah, and rest in peace Karl Lagerfeld for a fact. But Karl was doing stuff urban somewhat too, but not. You know what I'm saying? Not with the brand. He was like doing his own thing on the side, like. You know what I'm saying? Because Lil Durag got a little something with him.
Shout out Lil Durag.
Shout out Lil Durag. She knows she is.
Global. Lil Durag, you know that's your code name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, doing that stuff, because that wasn't officially Chanel. No. You know what I'm saying? That was just Karl Lagerfeld via her.
I don't think that any type of mainstream business, large or small, could deny the street culture anymore. Like you said, the hip hop, the punk rock, the skateboarding, the hooping, the culture is it's everything, bro. Like we said a couple days ago when we were talking about it. I come from the era of where you were watching like TRL and 106 in Park,
Yeah.
where Joel and Benji Madden had on the same diamonds that Birdman and Wayne had on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's where we live, bro. And like, we live in that convergence of culture, bro. Like, of course, everybody knows who Pamela Anderson was,
Right.
Tommy Lee, but everybody knew.
Crazy rock star.
Yeah.
Debauchery,
But we knew who
stuff.
Puff Daddy was. We knew who Master P was. We knew who AI was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people know Tom Brady. They respect Tom Brady, but they also respect OBJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? A black man knows that Brad Pitt is a handsome man. He also knows that fucking Michael B is a handsome man.
Yeah.
Like, we know these things, bro. We know that Pamela Anderson had a very nice rack.
Right.
But we also know Beyonce had a nice booty.
A nice hang.
You know? Dick Cheney knew what bootylicious was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He
Like, yeah,
this,
that's the culture, bro. Like, the culture is everything, bro. Yeah, we live in it.
Yeah, so by living in it, you know what I'm saying, we gonna get we can bring him behind the scenes a little we can give him small stories of how me and you. We can talk about how me and you
How we met?
Yeah, we can talk about how me and you
Can I tell him?
Yeah, you can tell him.
All right, man. So when I got my money and I left my grandma's house, I always wanted to live downtown. When I was a little kid, we used to live on the west side. So I grew up on the west side. My parents died when I was younger, my mom. So my grandparents had joint custody. So during the week, I lived on the west side, West LA, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills adjacent. On the weekends, I lived with my father's parents in Compton. So like I said, I always say I had the two different point of views. I had the street, hood view, ghetto fabulous, and then I had the west side, Jewish kids, Mexican kids. I had that good convergence of all the cultures, right? Yeah, so I understood glamour, I understood street code, I got it, bro. And that's in the DNA of Homme Femme. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my boy Edo, he's like, yo, and it was a cool kid from, I think he's where's Edo from? He's from San Jose, but more distinctively, he is from, I want to say Croatia, like right there by Croatia, yeah. Montenegro, yeah. One of those countries. Him and his brother, Sonny, and his little brother. Like, so Edo was like, yo, you got to come over one day, man. I'm having a powwow of creatives. And Edo's, I respect Edo a lot. So, of course, I pulled up. And Flash was there.
He's like, who is this?
And Flash, if you don't know Flash, man, of course, we've been brothers for 6 years now. But Flash, he is an overbearing figure. He is very muscular. He speaks up for himself, and he doesn't have a problem letting you know what he wants. So I'm like, bro, and he's a New Yorker, and I'm just like, bro, these New Yorkers, man, they just always so aggressive.
So you all in your face like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, get out of my face, bro. Like, get that New York mumbo jumbo off me, bro. Like, don't be trying to big body me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So. But he had on the off-white.
Yeah, I had off-whites on. You had off-whites on too.
Yeah,
but
you had
blazers.
I had the blazers. I did have the blazers.
We had somebody. You bought something right in front of me.
No, your boy pulled up with the
K pulled up that
K. He pulled up with either the Prestos. I think it was the Prestos.
Yeah, it was the Prestos.
The off-white Prestos.
You wanted the Presto.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, boy, this dude got some drip. So we ended up linking up, and we went to Miami. And we had a spot in Miami, and we did the whole Miami thing. And I remember I did a pop-up with Phil the Mayor, 2016.
Shout out to my boy Phil, man.
So I met you in 2017. I met you in 20, and then I had.
It might have been the end of 2016.
It was the end of 2016. No, it was the.
Because we went to we did some stuff there, but we went. I remember we went. It was you, Twan was there.
I love Phil, and Phil don't do me like that no more, man. He don't no more. But I did a pop up at appointment only with Phil the Mayor, design a shirt, everything, and I'm standing outside of Live, and he like, I can't do nothing for you. The next year I linked up with Flash, walked right in that motherfucker. like live, which was
we did it like Moses when we go in there. We spread the Red Sea. As soon as we walk in, they spread the Red Sea. Phil, Mike, all of them, they know what's up.
And I'm like, boy, this New York dude, he talk a lot, but he sure back it up. Like, yeah, so Liv, Lil Wayne, Live on Sunday.
King of Diamonds Monday.
Swagger just dumb. Call me Kelly Bundy. Like, we was in there, man, and we do stuff like that every time.
Every time, and then and then from that, having all the drip on, always being ahead, right? They have no idea that you've been hitting them over their head, back to back to back with collabs. Let's talk about some of the collabs. Let's talk about your favorite collab first. Let's go to where your favorite collab.
We just circling back a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know Flash at the time. He said he was running around the world with Ryan Leslie. Mm-hmm. So my boy Edo, who I met living downtown, plugged me in with Ryan Leslie, who also plugged me in with Flash. Edo, not Ryan. I did a collab with Ryan. It was called The Black Mozart.
Yep, and that's what I was doing. I was on tour running around with them. So I was on boy Miles too. He introduced me to Ryan and introduced me to Edo, and that's how I met them. I was
So that was our first collab with Ryan. We haven't really done too many collabs. We did the Appointment Only with Phil the Mayor. Mm-hmm. Dope shirt, half and half shirt stitch, literally Miami Hurricanes and Miami Dolphins. You've seen nothing like that before. We might have to retro that.
Yeah, you might have to.
That was dope.
You need Brian McKinney to mess with it.
Yeah. And then the collabs, man. Oh, man. We did the shoes with my boy Cool Kai.
Yeah,
like,
Kai.
Them went crazy, man. Kai.
Yeah, he went in heavy, right? You got the streets hemmed up.
We collab with Kai a lot, and we never really did nothing too corporate, man. We did the sweaters with Kai.
I love it when Alicia Keys put them joints on. I ain't gonna lie, that was a moment for me. I seen that, I felt proud. I'm like,
yeah,
I love Keys, man. That's
I love
crazy,
that, man.
man.
Alicia Keys, Swiss Keys, and the kids.
Yeah, and the kids.
Whole family.
Whole family out.
Yeah, we did. We went crazy with that, man. And Kai had the shoes going crazy, and then he always reach out just to work and stuff like that. He been supporting me for almost the whole time, and I've been reaching out to him too, likewise. And we put the corduroy on the shoes, man, and I switched it up. That went crazy. He had the patent leather thing going, and he had the new buck going, but we put that corduroy on there, and we gave him that.
All corduroy shoe, and to bring it back, you brought it back to that Beverly Hills Hotel vibe again. The same.
Beverly Hills Hotel, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We put that colorway on him, man, and can't take nothing away from him, man. He been doing his thing on the East Coast for a long time, but I'm gonna say that was the best Air Kai.
Nah, I believe it.
Kai,
it's 100%. That was definitely the best Air Kai.
That was the best one, Kai.
You might have to run it back for the low top, Kai. Yeah. Looking at you right now, you're running the low top back.
That was the best one. The streets might tell you that too, and ball don't lie. So yeah, man. Like coming up, we got a big collab coming.
Yeah, something that's gonna really shake up the whole internet. Shake up. I mean, we already shake the internet. I'll tell you one time we shook the internet up, and we kind of risked our lives for that. We could give a little piece of that.
Oh man,
about the mob or mob top.
Oh wait a second. Hold on. Respectfully. We did the Mob Ties collab. Yeah. Respectfully to my big brother Junior. You know what I'm saying?
Junior, Jazz, Baby J.
Yeah, Junior just being here. Jay Prince. Mm-hmm. Shout out to, of course, Jay Prince, man. Like I said, man, we just...
The father of Southern rap. Let's keep that.
We just, no pun intended, we really tied into the culture, man. Like, it's in our fabric. I don't know if you had a chance to let them know, Flash, exactly what your family history is, but I know I'm not the interviewer. I'm not the interviewer, but let them know, like, exactly why you are who you are and where you come from.
So, basically, my uncle is a legendary pioneer, rap pioneer, Love Bug Star.
Pause for a second, pause. I need a little bit more enthusiasm from you on that.
So, basically, my uncle, you know what I'm saying, he's the person who invented and helped coin the phrase hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? Love Bug Starsky. He's big in, one of the songs you probably heard him a lot and you don't even know it, singing it subconsciously is Biggie, Juicy, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
I kept on having be up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And not to cut you off, man, I'm gonna be the interviewer for a second. Yeah. And that's all right with y'all. Like, these are the things that we know, bro. Like, we know these things, like we know Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Or we know this, like we know, like the Three Little Piggies, or You know, these are tales that we know. Hip hop being the biggest genre in the world, the numbers back it for itself. The music that helped bridge the youth of the world, and those people being 50 years old now, being 20 years old now. You know, we got people in hip hop that's 55, like. People like your uncle is probably 60 now, 65.
Yep.
So we've been around, but like his uncle created the term hip hop.
Like the actual fabric of
Created
the whole
it.
thing. And in fashion and hip hop is so hand in hand with that, you know what I'm saying? You know, when Biggie was wearing the Coochie sweaters, you know, they couldn't tell him nothing.
Eddie Bauer.
Yeah, Eddie Bauer and Coochie sweaters, you know what I'm saying? And he tells you, peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski.
Yeah. So me coming up, man, I grew up in, like I said, on the weekends, Southside Compton, and it's very glamorous. We don't glamorize the street culture. We don't glamorize drug dealing. We don't glamorize gangster stuff, right? But you gotta think
part
about
of it though, because the dope boy, the way that he dressed, he wanted to be like him.
Yeah.
And he had the girls, he had the money, he had the lifestyle.
The streets is the streets. A lot of the times we say, like, you know, the difference between perception is how you see it. You got dope boys in Boston. You got dope boys in Chicago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might not be the same complexion as us, but they're doing the same thing. You know, you got, what's the difference between a hood rat and trailer trash?
Right.
Complexion.
Yep.
Same shit though. You know what I'm saying? People are smoking everywhere. So where I come from, your uncle being someone that created the term hip hop, I grew up on a block where Suge Knight and Tupac was driving down the block.
You see it.
And I'm seeing it. When Tupac got beat up at the Lakewood Mall, I knew about it before the media, because that was my block. I knew Baby Lane growing up. Like, he was the older brother of the kids. Like, Keefy D, you met Keefy D?
Yeah, I met Keefy D.
Respectfully, and we gonna get it right, Keith. Like, Keefy D is my goddad. Like, allegedly, Keefy D, respectfully, is the one that they say, you know, sent Pac to heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. But I seen the fly stuff there. I seen the lowriders, man. I seen the money. I seen the Cadillac Escalade before anybody had it. I seen the throwback jerseys before people had it. I seen the celebrities, the rappers. I seen Madonna. Like, I seen it, bro. I seen it, bro. I seen it. I went to high school with Nipsey Hussle, Shia LaBeouf, Omarion. You know what I'm saying? I seen the whole culture growing up, bro. And I just think that I'm glad that you got a platform, bro, because I think that it's so many stories that we need to be told, because there's kids like us and everywhere, like, you know, it's culture, but it's respected.
But we can communicate based off that though.
Because we're familiar. We're familiar.
And then we can communicate.
You know, like I said, man, whether you watch TRL or you watch 106 in Park, you've seen the same thing.
Right.
You know, whether it was Carson Daly or Free and AJ, you know Carson Daly.
Yeah.
I know Free and AJ.
Yep.
You know, like, we all seen that MTV News. Tupac is dead. I was 9 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we seen that. That's ingrained in our DNA. That's what we want to do with the clothes. Yeah. That's what we're doing with the clothes.
With the collabs, right? From where we was at with the collabs. The riskiest one, it was crazy. It was fun though. It was fun. It was a fun time. You know what I'm saying? But I have to get it. I have to talk about this because it has to be on the wax. We need it on wax, me. Because nobody doesn't know. Like,
I'm gonna say that
it was a hard collab though. It was the craziest collab. Mom Todd's collab was one of the hardest collabs. This guy said straight up. Leather jackets, all of that. The streets went crazy. Like, he's still wearing it to this day.
All right, man. So I'm teaching right now.
Yeah.
We teaching right now. So you got hip hop, right? Mm-hmm. You got New York, of course. Correct. That's you. Mm-hmm. You got the West Coast. That's me. Yep. Right? And then you got somewhere in the middle, the South. What do you say? The South got something to say.
South got something to say.
Who bigger than Jay Prince?
Nobody.
Right?
Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys.
Too many names to say.
Who came from the streets out the third ward and built this up and created Southern hip hop? A figure for Jay Prince is someone that Master P and Birdman look up to.
Yeah, because they had to get the DNA from somewhere. He was the first.
Yeah. So Jay Prince was the guy, but he wasn't necessarily as wanting to be out in the open as much as him. I can't speak for him, but I would say they built on top of his platform.
Right.
Now you got like people like QCP and Coach K who built on top of them, who built on top of the Master P's and them, right? And the babies. So Jay Prince was the first, and I'm pretty sure when you sit down with Jay Prince and Junior and all of them, Jay Prince will let you know who he built on top of.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure it was a mentor there for him too.
Right.
Right? The Mob Ties collab. Cliff Notes, man. Maybe y'all kids don't care about the Ghetto Boys. Maybe y'all don't care about Scarface and all that, but I bet you care about.
Oh, you talk about Pimp C. You talk about UGK.
I don't think if the kids
Talking
don't care
about
about
the Scissor, the
my
Lean.
big brother Bun B, if they don't care about them, I bet you they know Drake.
Oh yeah, of course they know Drake.
We love all of that, but the boy
is
different.
Yeah, the boy is different.
And there would be Drake couldn't just run around here, a made man how he could if it wasn't for Jay Prince and them people. And when we say mob ties, we don't mean like criminal organization.
Yeah, we mean family organization. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Organized bosses, a movement of organized bosses, right? That are doing things together, man. And it's
on a higher consciousness.
It's a family. And I tell you why it's a family, because when we was down there for them 2 weeks, I felt the hospitality, man.
I definitely felt that. Great food.
I felt the welcoming of the city of Houston.
Yeah.
I felt the saltiness of the food.
The saltiness.
But I didn't feel saltiness from none of them, though.
Yeah, not at all. No
I felt the love from the law enforcement.
Yep.
And the people that was protecting us in the city. I felt the love from everybody, man. It was crazy.
Riding around in motorcades all day and at night.
And when you got that stamp, it means something.
Right.
And you want to be loyal to that because they treat you really well. And Mob Ties was big. I don't feel like it got enough
exposure
press.
that it did. I wish it got a lot more exposure, but you still was on Complex. Headline that, you know what I'm saying? That was big.
But like I said, that's great and all that, man. And we could talk about the blogs and them not knowing what's going on. Yeah. But that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother episode, man. The streets get it, man. And I don't care how cool you are on the internet. I don't care what blog company, media company you work for. When you walk outside that office, when you log off out the metaverse, what's your pull like in the streets?
Right. And when you go in the wild and you be in different, I don't know, we go to all the shows we go to, and we see them in the wild. Remember we was in, what was that spot when we went to Miami, Rolling Loud, Miami. And we walked out, I'll never forget, we walked out of the back, and a dude walked up, and he said something to you. He was like, yeah, that shirt hard. And you was like, yeah, they appreciate that, man. He said, yeah, I got the same thing in a different color. He said, that's my brand, man. I own this brand. He said, oh yeah, let's tap in. He's too cool for school. He didn't want to tap in. He didn't even know. He tried to act like he didn't know.
I'm a lot like Jay Prince, man. I really never wanted to be out in the forefront. But one thing Flash kind of taught me, man, is that and I never had a problem speaking up for myself, but you gotta let them know. You gotta let them know who you are, man.
Because if not, they're gonna try to tell your story for you.
And they can't do that. We're gonna do that ourselves. And that's why I said I'm glad that you got this platform now, because a lot of our friends, man, a lot of our associates, even some people that we're not too cool with, man, they need to tell them stories. Right. Because it's a lot. And, content is really one of the biggest things that humans want. They want to hear real stories. They want to know what it was like. They, a lot of kids that grew up in, affluent areas want to know what it's like to grow up in the inner city. We want to know what it's like to grow up in affluent areas. You know what I'm saying? That's why we take these trips, man. That's why we stay at the Four Seasons, George V in Paris. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do what we do. That's why we hop on the private jets. We do it, we do it while we can, because we didn't necessarily have that in front of us. And we're blessed to be able to do that stuff sometimes. And we want to see what it tastes like, man. We want to see what it looks like and what it feels like. And just having a brand, man, it's surreal, bro, because a lot of people tell me now that I'm like really there, but I just don't feel like it, man. You can walk around and we'll show you, like, I just got so much more, man. I look at TV shows like Succession, man, and I see, like, I identify with Logan, right? Because Logan was like a kid that didn't grow up wealthy, and like he created Waystar Royco, and it's like based off of Rupert Murdoch, I believe. I mean, he like created the biggest media company ever. I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care if they say that he created a Voltron starship of negativity. I just care about he created something from the ground up, and it was the biggest. And I don't think I'll be satisfied until I'm the biggest.
Just overall.
Yeah. And
you're saying biggest, not just streetwear. Because I don't like people say streetwear. I don't even view this as being streetwear. I view this as fashion, period. I'm
going to tell you like this, man.
Fly stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you like this, man. And I asked this question respectfully. Because of the internet, I said in a couple minutes ago, it's a gift and a curse, right? because it's a gift and a curse. Because so many people have the opportunity, which is great.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to you got to show people the difference between you and other people. Some people is here for a good time. Some people is here for a long time. Me, I'm here for a long time.
Right.
Some people just want the credit. They want the girls. They want to make some quick money. They want the clout. Me, I want to be the biggest. I don't, like you said, streetwear, street fashion. Like, people ask me about Homme Femme and what's my goal. My goal is to be big like Zara and important like Chanel or Gucci. And you know, that might sound far-fetched to you, but all it is time.
It's all time.
You know
and
what
how
I'm
long
saying?
you willing to stay in the game? Who can stay in the game all 4 quarters without having to take a break?
I seen the Gucci movie, man, on the plane going to India, the House of Gucci, and I seen it, and I seen how the brand took off, like in the late '80s and '90s when they brought Tom Ford over there. But I just seen how it was ran, bro, and like to me, it's a generational thing, man. If I could be Logan Roy, being a fictional character, and be 80 years old and still have my hand on Homme Femme, that'll be tight. But I see the brand being around for generations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even
I might just
have to be long gone.
I might be just the person that started it, and I think the name is so ambient. It's man and woman.
Right.
You know, when Jay Prince asked us what it
He
means.
said, "What does this mean?"
Yeah, you know, cause the
He
street.
said, "Man, woman, what that mean?"
Yeah, cause some people,
Drew
man,
said,
they see the name and they don't understand it's a French connotation for man and woman.
Yeah.
Man plus woman. Whether you're religious or not, you know, if you want to take the religious path, in the beginning, God created the earth and He created man and woman. If you believe that the universe created us, scientifically, there's a man and there's a woman, right? That's the genesis of life. So we got that going for us. We got the French sounding, you know, it sounds real sexy to the inner city and to the Europeans. You know, it's simple.
You know, but in the hood they try to call it homemade femme.
They call it whatever they
If
want,
you remember,
man.
and at least they know because they didn't even know how to say Versace yet.
Hey, you call it Versace, Fosace,
Yep.
it doesn't matter, man.
Same thing.
They call it Balmain, 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 Coochie, Gucci, Poochie, whatever,
It's
bro.
all the same thing.
Yeah, it's all the same thing, man.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's all the same thing.
That's crazy. So like, man, this right here is good, man.
You know, we created a family here, man, and like, Matt is our family, Flash is our family. You know, like. Like the people that work here and that put in their time and their effort, man, the team, bro. We a family. Like, we look after each other, man. We make sure everyone's good. Like, and to me, that's what it takes, bro. It's generational, like, and it's also territorial for me. Like, I care about the people that care about me, and I want to be an example for someone that might not even know me, that just sees me and that's inspired by me. Sometimes I don't even know these kids be looking at me, man. I see my Instagram, it don't got a blue check by it. I don't have enormous growth, but then, you know, I look at my DM and I see a kid that's like, yo, I had my brand for a year, man, you inspired me. I never met this kid before. And I want to do good for them. I want to make sure that as I'm learning, because I'm still learning, I'll be at my 10th year next year, but I didn't go to fashion school.
But you know what they say, it's 10 years. 10 years in anything you're doing, it takes 10 years. And anything you're doing to be the top dog, and you have to put 10 years in no matter what. For the kids at home watching, this is what you have to do. If not, just say goodbye to that.
10 years, 10,000 hours. Like, you got, a little nugget to the kids, consistency. Like, that's it, man. Like I said, I haven't been the best. I've had recent times in the past few years where I had 14 cents in our account because, you know, I had to go pay a vendor, or, you know, I fucked the money off on a product that I thought would be good that didn't sell good, and I had to wait till from Thursday really, to that next Monday for that next direct deposit to hit to keep the business going. I've had to borrow money from my brother a few times. A couple friends got me some POs from Greece and stuff like that. Like, it's been a lot of times where, you know, I felt like this thing could be over, but I just feel like it's never gonna be over.
Nah, it's never gonna be over, because it's like when you become autopilot, bro. We're autopilot, bro. When we walked up to the boy, the way that we walked up to the boy, and me and the boy Drake, when we went to him to where do we go? Where do we go for that? What was that called? What we use that? Artist of the Decade.
Yeah.
We got the Artist of the Decade, and this is before the football stadium even opened to the public.
That's crazy, because we talking about consistency and longevity, and we talking about 10 years, and then you say Artist of the Decade. And when you think about Drake wasn't the most. He wasn't Drake now. He wasn't cut. He didn't have the beard going. He might have been a little dweebish to people.
Right.
A lot of
People that probably didn't even believe it.
A lot of people say he's from Canada. You know, he's not a gangster. Is he rapping or is he singing? And we really went to a party at the $5 billion football stadium,
Ram Stadium,
that wasn't open yet,
to the public. No one's ever seen it.
where they were celebrating a Canadian rapper that sings like the most consistent thing in all of music. Artist of the decade. You got Lady Gaga in there.
And the moment we in there, we chilling. You already know.
Wait, you
shout out
got
to my
Lady
boy.
Gaga
Yeah,
in
inside
there.
the spot, and they didn't even do that. He did that first.
And shout out to the family, man. Shout out to my big brother T for walking us up to him.
And that was crazy. Nah,
Yeah.
but prior, before T even walked us up,
He was on us the whole night.
We was drinking ginger ale.
And Drake was
right
behind
by
us.
the bar, and Drake is standing right behind us. But I didn't even see my guy
Shout out
yet.
to TV Gucci.
Yeah, I didn't even see TV yet. Before
I introduced you
I
to
didn't
TV
see
that
it.
night.
You did.
Because Christian introduced me to TV. Shout out to my brother Christian. The Mob Ties would not be possible without Rodney Pence. It's really Rodney Pence. And I can tie that back to my boys in Dallas, Scotty and Larry and J-Bar and them for putting me on with Rodney. And Rodney putting me on with Christian, who introduced us to Junior.
We introduced us to Junior,
Yeah.
Jazz, and then
Jazz and Baby J and the Pops, the old man.
yeah, the old man.
You know what I'm saying? Like introducing us there, man. It's, like I said, man, it's all about just brotherhood, family, and just connecting and longevity, and like everything that I've gotten as far as just because of people, man, and just how I've treated people and how I never looked down on people no matter where they were. Like, because someone looked down on me 10 years ago and told a talented artist that he shouldn't work with me, and look
what happened now.
Yeah,
Now all the artists is working with us, even the biggest artists.
we would probably be bigger artistically if we still, who knows how big we would have been, right? If me and David had stuck it out together, because he's one of the most talented artists out, right? He could take these walls and turn them into art with a spray can, right? In an hour.
Crazy.
Who knows? But, you know, like hey, Hove was going to always be Hove.
It's always going to be Hove. You know the numbers
was-
that he's going to do.
yeah.
Men lie, women lie, what doesn't lie.
Yeah,
Numbers.
so I think I would have always been here in some way. I think to myself, what would I have done if I didn't do clothes? Maybe I would have been like Coach K and QCP.
Right.
Maybe we would have had a record label instead.
Hey, you don't know we don't know what the future holds. We saying here, you know what I'm saying? When you dominate something in one sport, eventually you get.
Maybe we would have made an app.
Yeah,
you
never
know.
know. But you never know. You might end up being Dion. You know how Dion was playing football and baseball at the same time. You don't know what's gonna go on. At one point, you might just be like, I want to do some other stuff. You
Maybe
know
I
what
would
I'm
have started singing.
saying? Yeah, you never know. I mean, we got all the best producers in the world. We connected with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like with the whole warehouse and stuff, and I want to bring them around and show them and stuff like that. But just because we might have to do a part two. I'm not even going to lie to y'all at home. We might have to do a part two of this and bring y'all to Compton because there's a lot to this. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe just bring y'all on the road with us and show y'all just one small trip on the inside vibe. But like, I just want to let you know, I love you, bro. Like out of a bottom of my heart, in front of the world. You know what I'm saying? And I love everything you've done. I've watched from the moment that I met you. You wasn't even this big, and I watched you grow since the moment that I met you. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. We traveled and done so many things. People praise us. People talk down about us. The whole thing. The trials and tribulations I experienced with you, and it's not even been a decade yet. I'm excited for what the decade holds. And here on the Underappreciated podcast, I just want to let you know that you're appreciated, my brother, and the world appreciates you.
No, I love you, man. You connect people, man. Like, you make shit happen. So I'm proud of you. I do love you, too. And, like, man, we for sure got to do a part two.
Some inside stuff. You might see something exclusive. You never know what you're going to see. And it's with my brother.
Yo, I forgot to, well, all due respectfully, I forgot. Biggest collab ever to date. Homme Femme, Kentucky Derby, 148. Do I need to say much? Like, Kentucky Derby, man. It's only the most prestigious 2 minutes in sports. You know what I'm saying? The most electrifying Sunday fun day, Sunday best, Southern hospitality, global, just reach. Like, we did that, man.
Amazing.
Homme Femme, Kentucky Derby.
It's so exclusive, I don't even got it yet. I need
It's
that.
so exclusive. I don't got it. And I put that on everything. You go to my house, it ain't there. We're supposed to be having a couple extra made for the family, man.
Yeah, we need a few of these because this right here is special. You see the leather, premium leather arms.
Yeah, man.
So look, y'all getting to see all of this. You feel me? There's a lot of denim, there's a lot of tees, there's a lot of vibes.
We stock inventory in here, man. We receive stuff. We got 2 different warehouses, 14,000 square feet.
You gotta have a basketball court.
Little basketball court.
Friendly wagers. Anybody that wants to come and get a friendly wager on.
Friendly wagers.
So you get to see this real exclusive. He don't usually even allow this.
So y'all far gone, man. The team is gone, man. But you come here between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on any given day, and the whole team will be here, man. And we got the best team in the industry, man. And we got a young team. I say my team is like KD, Westbrook, and Durant on the OKC. And the only thing is we ain't trading nobody.
We ain't trading.
We're not trading.
And you actually winning.
And we gonna actually win. We are winning. This stuff is coming out already, so
y'all can see this wall right here.
This spring 23, man. I'll let Matt give you a quick glimpse, but that's too far in the future. Take the ideas, man, and the ideas come from growing up hip hop, growing up in the culture, reading dope magazines and vintage stuff, and just seeing the ideas, man, and thoughts from being a kid. Take them thoughts, put them on wax, you know.
And scratch it, you feel me? Put them
Team
on wax,
sending out to the
scratch it,
factories.
remix, you feel me?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. You
So-
see, this stuff is out of here. All of this is out of here.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
go too far into it, but
Yeah, we gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? We can't say, but we gonna show you.
Homme Femme Eddie Bauer this winter.
Sheesh. So now you see.
Lights is off, man. It's the other side of the business. And then for all y'all kids and even adults out there, the key to this business, man, inventory and cash flow. And as you can see, man, if you look behind you, we keep a lot of inventory.
Trap steady booming.
Because if we don't keep that inventory, we can't make that cash. We got all the inventory.
Look at all these jackets right here, man. How much? Can you tell us we ready for winter and fall or what? Like,
And that was from last winter and fall.
oh, this from last winter and fall?
We keep the inventory in stock.
Put them to sleep.
And
Keep them sleeping.
As you can see, man, we not sitting in. This thing was once full right here. This was once full, and this is the last one. Cause people buy this brand, man. This ain't
just for the video.
This ain't no Facebook advertisement, man. We not selling a lifestyle. We living it daily, man. These racks is empty. And that's not because we don't bring it in. That's because we get it out.
You dig? Right there.
We do our own content. So we got a secondary content wall right here, all the colors. You know, you see that stuff coming there, you.
When y'all be seeing all them shoots and all that stuff that goes online, this is where it happens at. This is where the magic happens at. Get to see behind the scenes.
Got our own content site wall.
Look at that denim chair.
You know what I'm saying?
You ever seen one of those?
Shout out to the team, man. You know,
Yeah, this is crazy.
Sil, Tam, Lele, Sarah, Mike, Kai, Rachel, all y'all, Bambino, Scotty, Deja, Twan, everybody.
Yeah, there's more clothes on this side too, but we ain't gonna
There's
say
more
that.
older stuff, denim stuff. We keep the newer stuff over there, the passy and stuff we keep over here. And our stuff sells, man. It sells back and forth. Let's take y'all to the showroom, man. We're going to be remodeling the showroom in a second, but I'm going to show you what it is in its present state. And that's where your favorite celebrities, stylists, athletes, friends of ours, family come and they shop. That side of town, man, the lighting ain't too good in here, but
You gonna see he got, man got the Sony A7S.
let's try to get the lighting right. So, this is the showroom, man. And as you can see behind you, man, we're getting ready for the remodel. We got the big Homme Femme neon sign going up pretty soon.
Yeah,
When you come in here, we're gonna turn this into a greenage wall. We're gonna have everything on there, fix the lighting, you know. Cash flow is key. Cash flow is crazy, so we can work on that. New furniture. We're gonna have stills of our current collections up. New rack concepts, but this is just all the clothes, man. And we range from shorts, shirting.
You can see some of the stuff, the newer stuff. This is
Genuine.
new stuff, right?
Yeah, no, right here. New stuff right here.
Oh, so
Right
behind.
here. Sure, some stuff. Genuine leather. This is not that pleather, man. Shout out to PETA and all that. Yeah, you know, we cruelty free.
Yeah, cruelty free, man.
Yeah, this
They
is
had a good life, man.
It's halal leather.
Halal, lady,
Yeah.
premium. The tees is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tees everywhere.
See, look at that Monaco tee. You really be in Monaco for real.
Now we was in Monaco.
See
We don't
that?
push nothing that we ain't done before, man.
Good stuff.
We put shit together in here, man. They coming from all over the world to shop with us.
Jeez.
Circling back to the Derby, right? The Kentucky Derby reached out to us. They wanted to help us. They wanted us to help them present the Derby to the new culture, man. So we got a nice little deal with the Derby. Shout out to Casey and Emily and Valerie and the governor of Kentucky. Like everyone that gave us them opportunities and ourselves. Like, yeah, so we telling the story of Black history and also youth culture to Kentucky and to the Kentucky Derby. This is one of the pieces. One of our custom silhouettes, the cutoff raw hoodie.
Beautiful.
You know, so y'all see the collection. We'll show y'all in the little clip notes, and we'll have to come next year. Fox Sports. I know y'all covered the Derby like nobody gonna do it like us. We did it last year, and it was short notice. This year we got a whole year to plan it. It's gonna be crazy. Like,
It's gonna be crazy. You already know where you get the exclusive from.